Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is a glorious day. Today is the day that the Lord hath made, and we must rejoice in it. Today, for the spiritual vitamin, I want to come from a simple thought and theme of you've already won. You've already won. In the movie Rocky IV, Rocky found himself in a situation that, by all accounts, was unwinnable. He was scheduled to fight the Russian boxer Drago, who just killed Apollo Creed during an exhibition fight. Drago was seen as the ultimate fighter, and though Rocky was the now retired heavyweight champion of the world, his stature, his build, his height, his weight, his strength did not compare to that of Drago. As stated by the commentaries in the movie, the match between Rocky and Drago was clearly a David v. Goliath all over again. But not only did you have the physical attributes, but you also had the place that it should take place. Rocky Drago, the fight, was to happen in hostile territory where he was not familiar with what was going on. He didn't understand the language, he didn't understand the culture, and he was put in a position where he was there alone with only a small contingency of supporters. His success rate was slim to none due to the appearance of everything. Due to the totality of the circumstances, one could easily surmise that Rocky's chance of winning was slim to none. Watch this. Oftentimes, we find ourselves in those what appears to be unwinnable situations as Rocky. We are unfamiliar with our terrain, unfamiliar with the territory. We're unfamiliar with what we physically see. Our senses, our five senses that we depend upon day in and day out, is showing us something that we're unfamiliar with, telling us this is unwinnable, telling us this is not going to happen. But despite the odds being stacked against Rocky, he still trained, he still recognized the task in front of him, but never relinquished the fight. The determination, the drive to move beyond the mere physical and or obvious and hold on to hope, hold on to faith that he, despite what everybody was saying, despite what it appears, could be possibly victorious. Even so much so, Rocky even said, hey, I'll go regardless of what it looks like. Well, watch this. Jeremiah chapter 32 and 41 puts it this way. I will find joy doing good for them, and will faithfully and wholeheartedly replant them in this land. I will find joy doing good for them, and will faithfully and wholeheartedly replant them in this land. Now the prophet Jeremiah was telling the children of Israel that there's a promise of restoration, that regardless of what it looks like, you've already won, because God has promised to do good, because he finds joy in doing good. What am I saying to you this morning? You've already won despite what it looks like. You've already won despite what people may say. You've already won. Because just as God promised restoration to Israel, he has promised that he rejoices in doing good for you. He will faithfully and wholeheartedly replant you wherever you may go. He will replant you and reestablish you and reaffirm who you are and whose you are. You've already won. Rocky went and fought in a hostile territory. And because of his heart, because of his faith, his hope, He changed the hearts of many, and he came out victorious. God wants you to keep your hope. God wants you to keep your faith. God wants you to continue to believe. Continue to have your heart pure, worshiping him in spirit and in truth. Because he finds joy in doing good for you. And he will faithfully and wholeheartedly replant you. You've already won, my brothers. You've already won, my sisters. Stay with God. Remain with God. Don't move from God. And God has already did it for you. Have a blessed forever, my brothers. Have a blessed forever, my sisters.